Hello my little Inquisitors and welcome back. This is Dragon Age Inquisition Trespasser DLC and we finally caught up with Solus, the Dreadwolf, the agent of Fenrirel, and yes, we have questions.
The Qunari believe you're an agent for someone who has taken the name Fenrirel.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fenrirel.
I was Solus first. Fenrirel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
You lied about everything.
I understand your anger. In your position, I would share it.
You're really him?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fenrirel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
The Evanurus were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
You're going to destroy this world?
Not happily.
I'll have to stop you.
I know you will try. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Kunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for the agents of Fen Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Divinity Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
So at least some of the stories about the Dread Wolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
For whatever it's worth, thanks for the castle.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Kunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Kunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Kunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Kunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
So you let us do your dirty work.
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Kunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
If I live, I'm coming to stop you.
I know. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
What the hell just happened? What did he do to me?
Agree something must be done, But we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Canary spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, none of us would be here to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
Oh, options, options. Risk corruption for this. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger by risk corruption. All of them risk corruption. Efforts against Solas will be weaker but more secure. And will be disbanded.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. The Inquisition saved the people of Ferelden when you couldn't. We are not disbanding. And we are certainly not submitting to an empress who only sits on her throne because we kept her there. There's worse coming than anything you've yet seen. So we'll play nice. We'll bow. But not to you. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
Did he cut it off? Solas cut it off. Swords and Shields, chapter 155. Over the next several months, the Inquisition carefully gave over many of the duties it had held. As the Divine's personal guard and peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrunk to a more manageable size. Many who had served went home, though the remaining force was still enough to give pause to anyone who might threaten the Divine's plans. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly in the hope of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. With the dragon's breath disrupted and any hope of the swift victory dashed, the Canary retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvolan, But not long after the exalted consul, the Canary launched new attacks against the Winter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. The Winter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Cassandra continued her reign as Divine Victoria, rebuilding fractured alliances and settling the Inquisition into its new role as her personal guard. Her efforts were successful, and for a time, southern Thedas saw peace. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterborn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. While Divine Victoria could never marry, it was obvious that she remained close to the Inquisitor. Their romance, impossible as it was sincere, became the subject of courtly songs about the woman who went to the Maker, leaving the woman she loved. But always glancing back and smiling when she saw that she was there. Vivienne was elected Grand Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, but inauguration was not as triumphant as she had hoped. Those veteran mages of the Inquisition who did not return to the fold formed the new College of Enchanters as a rival organization to her circle. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. Leliana continued to act as the Inquisition spy master in its final months as an independent organization. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rector, and Harding. Many believe that Leliana feared what lay on the horizon and was grooming successors in anticipation of the challenges ahead. With the Inquisition now serving the Divine, Sarah returned to the singular and plural role of Red Jenny. Because nobility and grammar could both still hit it. Many noted how Sarah's methods had changed after seeing the Inquisitor stand for everyone. This Red Jenny was more focused, tactical, and some dared say, effective. She and her network could also be counted on to act in the interest of the supposedly desk-bound Inquisitor. Sarah remained a formidable ally of allies, intent on proving that the powerful weren't, that it was friends who mattered overall. With frequent visits to her Whittle, of course. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing over to the Divine. When the knobs piece about what your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Varric took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuilt Kirkos Damad's infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marchers. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Priests of Starkhaven. With the Inquisition in its new role, the Bull's Chargers returned to taking jobs throughout Orlais and Ferelden. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatory forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition transitioned to a peacekeeping role, Cullen continued to serve as a commander of its forces. Under his leadership, the Inquisition protected the Divine's interests while enforcing new standards of security. Cullen also expanded the Chantry's treatments for Templars whose minds were taken by lyrium, as well as those who wished to seize lyrium's usage. And as chaos reigned in the north, and threats to the Divine lurked in every shadow, Cullen remained ready to serve. Dorian returned to the Winter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infightings, Dorian was speaking often of a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Maeveris Delany, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem the Winter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavus's side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Tom Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved and set on a path of redemption. This gift, so compassionately given, needed to be shared. Freed from his obligations to the Inquisition, Rainier traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By sowing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. After using the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Montiliers were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with a Montilier crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Raivani, pirate captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestor, took to the seas, determined to rekindle their rivalry. Apart from Josephine's sister, Yvette, nearly eloping with the dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montilier took the development in stride. Cole took to the road with Maridan to find new life and a new way to be human. Wherever Maridan went to sing, people found all pains eased and hearts made happier, even if they didn't understand why. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elves' servants across Thedas. None could say where they went, but those who believed in the Inquisitor's story about Fernherald's wondered just how large the Dreadwolves' forces were. And what the ancient elven rebel had planned.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dreadwolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will stop Solus by any means necessary.
And this, peeps, sums up the story of the Inquisition, the Inquisitor, and his friends. It's been a fun ride, it's been a great ride, it's been one of my most favorite games of all time. I won't lie to you, I had too much excitement way before I bought the game, and while playing along with you fellas, I just felt that it was the best choice for me to share this game with you, this experience. I pretty much said all that in the previous campaign in Dragon Age we did, plus in Jaws of Hakon, I believe, so I shouldn't repeat myself. Thank you all for watching, hope you guys enjoyed this series again, hope you guys enjoyed this DLC, and I'll see you all in the upcoming brand new LP on the Pontikaki's Casual Gamer's Nest. Thank you for watching everyone, and have a pleasant evening.